The two most neglected muscle groups when it comes to sprinting and why you should prioritize them. That is the video today. The two most neglected muscle groups that are important to sprinting and why you should prioritize them. This is something we're doing. I try to give you guys the honest perspective. I give you guys everything. I'm coaching. As I'm coaching, I'm telling you what we're doing. So there's no secrets. I'm not like coming out with something new. No. We have to keep some stuff for ourselves. But when it comes to like our performance on the track, I want to share what's going on. The calves, the hip flexors. Two things that are pivotal, but we don't pay enough attention to. We're going to talk about that, the body parts, the functions, all that. We're going to talk about why it's important, why you need to prioritize it. Let me help you. Help me help you. Like, comment, and subscribe. That's how you help me. Let's go. The two most disrespected, underappreciated muscle groups. The calf, which has two components, the soleus and the gastrocnemius. They call it gastroc for short. When the knee is bent, we are activating the soleus. When the knee is straight, it's the gastroc. Okay. When the ankle is under tension, like the foot is coming toward the ground, right? There's a stretching action. Eccentrically, the foot is moving toward the ground, it's lengthening. And when there's a stretch, there's this eccentric focus, there's an eccentric load. Okay, the calf, the Achilles, all the tendons and components related to us bouncing off the ground, this is where they get their functions, where they get their bills paid, right? Show me what you're worth by how much you're trained. The ability to lift the body off the ground. You're gonna need your ankle to function well. And all the calf muscles are part of that ankle function. Moving on to the hip. You have your glutes, right? On the back side is the gluteus maximus, medius minimus. On the flexion side of things, which is really where I want to point this conversation, is the iliopsoas. Right, so we have a very small muscle group. I talked about this from Dr. Ralph Mann's readings in his book. He talked about how difficult it is for us to maintain knee drive under fatigue because there's just very few muscles in the hip that contribute to us like lifting the knee, so they fatigue very easily. But we need to at least address the strength components of them. If I want to swing an axe, my arms need to move backwards for me to deliver the blow forwards. Same thing with running. If I want the knee to strike down, I use the hip to do so, and that's where the hip flexor comes in, the iliopsoas. So those are the muscles. Now here's why you should be prioritizing this. I'm gonna boil it down to 3 concise points here. Okay, number 1, you think you're preparing these muscle groups in the gym, but you're actually not. The seated calf has been neglected, the standing calf has been neglected, the multi-hip has been neglected, the single leg hip thrust has been neglected, and then you're expecting to run fast, but you're not doing the basic things. Like this performance thing, I wish it was like broad strokes get us the painting, but it's the intricate details. It's the fine brush with the multi-layered colors that are really gonna bring this picture to fruition. You're not getting there by leg press and squat and deadlift and step up, no. And like plyos are great, but they don't build tendon strength, right? I might get some elasticity out of them and some endurance capabilities out of them, but you're not preparing the muscle group the way you think you are. So I would encourage you, take some time. You're gonna take another half hour in the gym. That's just what it is. Maybe have a day where it's all ancillary movements, accessory movements. I don't know how you break it up, but you're not prepared the way you think you are. Number two, these are the easiest gains you'll find. Right? It's like doing arms. The arms aren't very large muscle groups. But if you stay consistent, eventually you're going to fill your shirt out. The bicep will pop, the tricep will pop. When you see yourself in the gym and your bicep is popping like it never has before, trust and believe. Trust and believe the work that you were doing 2-3 months before that, and the consistency of your movements is the reason why you're not happy with your gains. Same thing with the hip flexor, same thing with the glute. Have you seen a sprinter with a small bum? Not happening. Not happening. Not a serious sprinter anyway. You're gonna need some glutes about you. Address that in the gym. Small calves might be genetic. We're not looking for big, like, hypertrophy. We're not looking for the muscle group to grow necessarily. Kind of counterintuitive for what I just said about the glutes. Just more that they're functional and they're able to do what you need them to do. Talk about the acceleration. The acceleration comes from the hip. It's a hip extension movement. Jonas Dodo has told us that many times. All these coaches have told us that many times. So why would I not teach my hips to move and get them to do what they're supposed to do, how they function to do? And then in max velocity running, if I want to get this bouncy cadence, you know how much strength you need to be able to keep balance and stability on one foot. And then at that, you're maintaining your foot position that is plantar flexed. So your foot is rigid, right? But the toes coming toward the ground, and you're trying to bear all your weight so your heel doesn't fall flat to the ground. Many of us lack this ability. If the foot is crashing to the ground, the heel, is crashing to the ground, you know your calves are not strong enough. Randy Huntington talks about how he helped Subin Chan address this in the Re-engineering Sue module on the Altis website. I would encourage you guys to go check that out and read it and see how it improved his calf muscles. But it was rudimentary jumps paired with seated calf and measuring his force output. Some of us have the riches to measure with a Kaiser. This is free game that he told me. I called him. Somehow I got his number, don't ask me how. But I called him and I asked him, if I don't have a seed calf machine, what can I do? He said, get a mass loaded machine, get a seated calf machine that puts plates on, and then put bands on it. So there's no reprieve. Like, you have to keep extending at the ankle. And enough weight there, you're gonna build the tendon to do what it wants and build the calf muscle to do what it wants. So I can't measure the calf strength, I can just measure the times and see the movements improve. I have to trust my coach's eye to do so. Last but not least, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you guys. You're gonna eliminate your power leaks. I just talked about how the foot comes toward the ground and like the foot collapses underneath the body weight of the athlete. That is a power leak, or the inability to hold positions, right? After a few seconds of sprinting, we know we're kind of in survival mode, right? Where our fitness and our core strength and our muscular strength and muscular endurance are really going to be called into play. And especially in an event like the 400, where it's a sprint, but a lot of it is, it's a sprint, but a lot of it is who can resist fatigue the longest, who can keep the speed but resist fatigue the longest. The power of force production around the glutes rapidly decreases when we are not strong enough to keep applying force. When that resiliency to keep fatigue off dissipates, we are in trouble. Let me say it a different way. When you're unable to produce force and stay active and stay powerful in a race, you know you're not fit enough. And I believe strength is part of fitness, is an indicator of your fitness. With that being said, prioritize your calf raises, both seated and standing. Prioritize your hip extension moves, if it's kickbacks, if it's single leg hip thrusts, all those things. Prioritize the multi-hip knee drives, the kettlebell knee drives, the cable knee drives, or the weighted core. We got to teach the muscle groups that there is an endurance element that comes naturally with running or core or whatever the case is, but why not apply force and resistance to these other muscle groups that oftentimes get neglected? Let me know if you guys are doing this already. How's it working for you? We've been on it. We're going to be doing it between our workouts. This is how serious it is to me. Maybe not between the workouts, but now we're transitioning to the track. We're going to be doing a lot more of this, especially around the hip, especially the hip flexor, because I know most of the kids that we work with, they go to the high school programs and they don't work on the small things. It's just not enough time. It's not a jab at the schools or anything. Mostly it's squat, it's bench, it's deadlift, it's clean, it's that kind of thing. But addressing the smaller muscle groups is just something they don't do. And that's where I come in, because we want a full, well-rounded athlete that's able to get the job done. With all that being said, thank you guys. Thank you for checking out the video. And until the next one, peace.